Accent your holidays with symbols of the season, with some great ideas and easy tips coming up next. Hi, I'm Alan Smith. Happy holidays. Well, I've just been out in the garden gathering up some extra greenery to finish up some of these ideas that I want to share with you in today's show. You know, during the holidays, things get sort of crazy. But you know, I believe that holiday decorating doesn't have to be exhausting. It doesn't have to break the bank or use up all of your extra time. So we're going to kick off the show with an inspiring visit to the historic Biltmore Estate, where we'll take a look at some all-natural arrangements. This arrangement is simple to make and can be put together in a matter of minutes. I'll take you step by step through the process. Plus we'll make these handsome fruit votives that look great accenting any table. Moss topiaries like these might cost an arm and a leg at a gift shop, but putting one of these together is as easy as 1, 2, 3. And they're ideal gifts to give to others. And we'll also visit with Chef Regina Charboneau as she shares her award-winning biscuit recipe with us. It's perfect for a winter breakfast. This show is chock full of ideas and inspiration, and it all gets started with a visit to the Biltmore right after this. When it comes to grand American estates, you can't pass up the Biltmore. It's located in picturesque Asheville, North Carolina, and the grounds are spectacular. As the holidays approach each year, the floral staff takes advantage of nature's offerings as they bring seasonal items indoors. Kathy Barnhart was kind enough to invite me into her workshop, where we put together some all-natural holiday arrangements befitting this grand home. Well, it looks like you've been out on the estate gathering.
Well, we have. Some of the things that I've brought in here today show texture rather than color.
Now, how are you going to use these twigs with the paper wines?
Well, I want to show you what we do to support narcissus and other blooming bulbs in the house rather than using that typical bamboo stake tied where the flowers are so tightly pulled together.
Exactly.
So we're going to use some of these natural materials to make that
give it a little support.
Structure, but also give the narcissus a little dressier look.
These look like azalea limbs.
That's exactly what it is. We do some pruning for our gardening staff. We go
Judicious pruning.
Exactly.
The lichen on these limbs, it's fantastic.
They add so much texture and interest to a design.
Now what you're creating here is a little garden in itself.
Exactly. Bringing those natural elements indoors.
Now with 250 rooms in this house, I mean that is a daunting chore to have floral arrangements in each one of them. You must come up with some techniques that help keep these lasting longer.
Yes, and that's one of the intentions of this type of design. Of course, things like the narcissus and tulips tend to stretch as they bloom out. Yeah. And this way our design stays interesting, but it doesn't end up flopping over and looking sloppy in Biltmore House.
Now let's look at this arrangement that you've done over here. I think it's really nice.
Thank you.
And this is all made from materials gathered on the estate. Let's pull it across
here. Yes, every bit
here.
of that material came from our shrub garden. And we have lots of textures again. This is a more monochromatic design using whites and shades of green.
Right, all the same color.
Things like the Atlas cedars, Mahonia for a bolder, heavier texture.
Yeah.
And then we've added interest with berries. And these are sort of the non-traditional berries that you think about at Christmas time.
This is actually the fruit of English ivy.
Exactly, mature ivy. And they're very interesting berries. They don't add a lot of color again, but they add texture to the arrangement.
Right, and the white beautyberry.
Right.
Most of us know it as the purple,
right,
but this is the white form. It really is about retraining the eye and looking for things in a different way to bring
It's
inside.
not just texture, it's interest. Walking through the garden and giving things a try. Maybe they work out and maybe they don't, but you might as well try it. Aren't we lucky to have these beautiful gardens to pick from, to bring things in? It does add that natural element to the designs, and hopefully when our guests tour the house, they'll feel like the outdoors have come inside.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule.
Well, Merry Christmas, and thank you for coming.
Thank you. I look forward to coming back.
Good.
Goodbye.
Thanks.
You know, during the holidays, they get over 220,000 visitors through this house. It's really amazing. People come to see the beautiful holiday decorations. Some of the most impressive are the Christmas trees. There are over 35 trees throughout the house, and one of the largest is here in the banquet hall. It's over 40 feet tall. To find out more about the Christmas trees here at Biltmore, I spoke with Ann Brightman, the Floral Displays crew leader. Ann, this is a busy time of year for you all. How far in advance do you begin preparing for Christmas?
Right after Christmas in January. We really do. Yes, we do.
A full year?
Basically, yes, yeah. It really does, yeah. We take the trees down. It takes us about 2 months to sort everything out again at our warehouse, repack everything, and from there we start buying all our materials to start making our decorations.
Tell me a little bit about the number of ornaments you use here in the house.
On these trees here alone, you know, there's like 400 ornaments.
I notice all the Christmas trees are lighted beautifully, I might add. Tell me a little bit about that.
Thank you. I'll tell the crew about that. Well, we try to keep the lights on the tree very subdued. We don't do a lot of heavy lights on the tree. You know, like this 14-foot tree has 26 strands of lights. For a tree this size, you know, that's not heavily lit. And that way we just have a very soft glow.
You can certainly discover ideas that you can use in your home on a trip to Biltmore. For more all-natural decorating ideas, just check out my website. That's pallensmith.com. Okay, up next, we're getting colorful with some simple arrangement ideas. All you need is a trip to the grocery store, so stay with us. Hi, I'm Alan Smith. Welcome back. You know, the holiday season is certainly not lacking in color. Of course, the traditional colors are red and green. Now let's put to work some of this greenery I just took out of the garden. Now, I love using plants that aren't traditional. Here I'm using two outstanding evergreens, this one called Cryptomeria, which is a wonderful plant from Japan, and then this evergreen called Leyland Cypress. I think both of them have a beautiful color and texture. Now this first arrangement is very simple. It involves only 4 ingredients: some greenery, some roses from the grocery store, some candy, as well as a glass vase or cylinder. Actually, I'm going to use 2. You see, the secret to this is to use 2 cylinders, one smaller than the first, where you can slide it in the center like this. Now let me give you a little better idea how this double vase approach to designing an arrangement works. Let's just push these roses out of the way. And you can see this one that I've just about finished. What I've done is I've just slipped the long stem roses in the center. I've used the greenery to soften the edges. Place the cylinder, you can see, there in the middle. And then I just filled in all around with lots of peppermint candy. It's really, really easy. Now let me show you another example over here using the same principles. Here I've used white roses, the Leyland Cypress to fill in, and some Hypericum berries to just make it pop. But I've placed it in a round bowl with silver balls. Another easy solution for the holidays. Now let's take a look at one other idea over here. It's a great way to decorate the table using fruit, and all I've done is I've cut the tops of various types of fruit out and placed a small little votive cup, a little tea candle that's wrapped in aluminum at the base. It's really simple. All you do is take a piece of fruit and a paring knife and just gently cut the top out of an apple like this, and don't make the cut too big. It's better to go back and carve it out if you need to. Just pop out the center. Clean out the core of the fruit just a little bit. Now let's see if the candle or votive fits in there. Yep. Now you can take these and just line them up on the table and add some greenery around the base, or even tuck some small leaves of mistletoe or holly around the edge. It's really quite festive and a fun way to bring color and light to the holiday table. And if you think that's something, get a load of these topiaries. After the break, I'll show you how to create these, plus give you some tips on using moss effectively in the garden. So stay with us. Now, when it comes to craft projects, there are certain things that I like to use and I seem to fall back on regularly. One is this product. It's sheet moss. You can use it in so many different ways. Now, it's interesting, the reason they call it sheet moss is it grows on the forest floor and it's harvested in big sheets like this, which makes it easy to use and a lot of fun. I'm going to start with a piece of New England pottery. I love the beautiful color here echoed in the moss. Now what I'm going to do is just use a couple of pieces of styrofoam, Place it in here like so. And here is the stalk of the tree. And then on the top, we get the cone. So with the form in place, you can see it's really quite simple. All you do is line both the bottom and the cone itself with a mixture of the sheet moss and various colors of lichens, all of which can be bought at a hobby store, or you can go out on a woodland walk and pick up some yourself. Now, from time to time, I get letters from viewers concerned about moss, like this one from Allison in Maryland. She says, "Alan, you've got to help me. Moss is taking over our stone patio. What do we do?" Even though the old saying, "a rolling stone gathers no moss," may be true, flagstones, brick, and other materials are safer without it. To keep moss and algae from growing, you can treat your area with a simple solution of 3 tablespoons of household bleach in a quart of water. Spraying this on the moss eliminates the problem at least temporarily, but to be completely effective, it should be applied every week. The best way to keep moss away permanently is to change the conditions it's growing in. Moist shade is its preferred habitat, so by allowing more sun in, perhaps removing a few tree limbs, and reducing watering in this area, you'll discourage it from growing. One last tip. If you find that moss is growing in your lawn, this may be a sign that your soil is highly acidic. An application of agricultural lime can help you correct this problem. If moss in your garden is the desired effect, there's a simple recipe that can accelerate its growth. Start by gathering 1 part moss. You can collect this by scraping it off the top of the ground. Combine this with 3 parts beer and 1 part granulated sugar in a blender. Then just pour or brush the mixture over the stones or soil where you want the moss to grow. Up next, my friend Regina Charboneau invites us to her kitchen at Twin Oaks and shares her biscuit recipe. It's a perfect way to start off a winter morning, so stay with us. For me, a brisk winter morning always starts off so much easier with fresh from the oven, hot biscuits and a cup of coffee. That's why I always enjoy visiting Natchez, Mississippi, where Chef Regina Charboneau lives. Today, she shares our homemade biscuit recipe from her kitchen at Twin Oaks.
Biscuits have become synonymous with Regina's kitchen. It amazes me. I can do a dinner party with 5 courses, and at the end of the meal, people are raving about the simplest thing, which are my biscuits. They often ask what makes them so special, and I truly believe it's a combination of growing up in Natchez, Mississippi, which I think is the biscuit capital of the world, and going to cooking school at La Varenne in Paris. I think it's a combination of taste and technique, and today I'm going to show you a few of my tricks. First, you're going to take your dry ingredients. You're going to take 4 cups of flour. Now you're going to take a 1/4 cup of baking powder, and then I take a 1/4 cup of sugar, and a little trick is I put equal sugar to baking powder. It cuts that bitter taste that baking powder often leaves in biscuits. Then on low, you mix all of your ingredients just for a few seconds to blend them. And now we're going to move to the 2 most important ingredients, the butter and the margarine. So often people use lard or Crisco in their biscuits, and again, this is a combination of Natchez and Paris. I use the margarine, which is something that adds the layer. It's the same principle as using Crisco, but I think it has more flavor. And then the butter adds a richness, and so part of the layering process, I combine these 2 ingredients. It's important to cut the butter into small pieces because it's firmer than the margarine, so it won't mix as well as the margarine does. So now that we've got the butter and the margarine cut into the right sizes, we're going to go ahead and add it to the flour mixture, and we're going to turn it on for just a second to lightly coat it with flour. That helps with the layering. Now we're going to just mix it for just a second. Just like that. We add the buttermilk. We're going to mix it, and again, the key is to not overmix, so I'm just going to do this for a few seconds. That's it. So now we're going to take the dough out and put it on a floured surface to roll them out. What we're going to do is get this in a nice ball on the flour. Again, not overworking it. You don't want to overwork your dough. And because we didn't overmix it, there will be a little bit of flour in the bottom, which I just kind of work in. We're going to layer it 4 times, again, a little French technique for flakiness. So first I start just by pressing it down. We're going to do the first fold manually without the rolling pin, without rolling it, just patting it down again. Then I take the rolling pin, and you don't want to add too much flour, but you can add a little. So, and you see those nice lines of butter and margarine, that's what's going to make it flaky. I'm going to roll it and fold. And you're going to want to have it smooth, so we're going to do it one more time this way, and then again. The 4th time, there. So now we'll take a little flour and get a nice smooth surface to make pretty biscuits. There's still a nice line of, you see the butter and margarine, and I do them about, 1/4 of an inch thick. And you get nice layering. And you put these on a cooking sheet and you bake them at 375 degrees for about 20-25 minutes till they're brown. After you bake them, you can serve them for breakfast with butter and jam, or make little cocktail sandwiches. I do smoked turkey with cranberry chutney. There are all kinds of things you can do.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's show. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope that you gained some inspiration for some of these ideas that we've shared today. Now, if you think you might have missed something, just check out my website, pallensmith.com. All the information's there, including that delicious biscuit recipe. Until next time, happy holidays. From the garden, I'm Alan Smith.
In this garden I dream of a bed of flowers. Bluebirds sing of the beauty all around us. And every time the sun comes out, I can't help but smile. Oh, no, I can't help but smile.